The Lagos State Internal Revenue Service is the agency saddled with the responsibility of handling tax administration for the Lagos State government. Today on The Big Story, we delve into the responsibilities and functions of the agency as we bring you an expose on what you need to know about the LIRS. My name is Oyinlola Sale. Welcome to the Tax Talk.
This is Business News. The Federation Account Allocation Committee (FAC) has shared 966.11 billion naira among the three tiers of government from July 2023. The figure represents a marginal increase of 59.06 billion naira when compared to the previous record shared for June 2023 and is the highest this year. The total amount includes gross statutory revenue, value-added tax, electronic money transfer levies, and exchange rate difference revenue. FAC disclosed this in a communique issued at the end of its meeting in Abuja on Tuesday. A statement by the Director of Press and Public Relations Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Bawa Mowa, said the meeting was chaired by the new Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has called for discipline in money supply to control inflation. Edu gave the admonition for discipline in money supply to control inflation in Abuja, explained the need for the government to mobilize resources to deliver on its mandate to boost employment and reduce poverty. He advised that there should be discipline in money supply to control inflation in the nation's economy. The Corporate Affairs Commission has clarified that it planned to delist registered companies that have failed to file their tax returns is not aimed at generating funds for the corporation. According to Garuba Abubakaro, CAC's Registrar General Chief Executive Officer, approximately 100,000 business names and 10,000 incorporated trustees that have defaulted in the last decade will soon be published for striking the company's register. This initiative is in line with the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. Abubakar mentioned that companies marked for striking of the register are expected to comply within 90 days, otherwise they will be delisted. He further explained that the move is also intended to promote compliance and enhance CAC's records, aligning with the beneficial ownership register and international best practices. Some stakeholders have commended President Bola Tinubu for the recently inaugurated Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, chaired by Mr. Taiwo Oyedele. They made the commendation in separate interviews with the News Agency of Nigeria on Friday in Abuja. An economist, Dr. Tope Fasua, commended the president for taking steps to introduce needed changes in Nigeria's tax reform. He said that it was good for the government to optimize revenue generation to cut down on borrowings. Fasua advised that every state should take concrete steps to improve revenue generation for the economy to grow sustainably. He urged the private sector to always cooperate with the government in its revenue drive rather than antagonize such initiatives. Dr. Ayo Abina, the chairman of AACS, an international consulting and investment company, said rather than continue borrowing, Nigeria could generate enough to fund government's expenditure. And that's it on Business News.
On The Big Story today, the Tax Talk delves into the growth trajectory of the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service and some of the challenges the agency has faced or is facing and the innovations they have developed. We'll also talk data analytics and the role of technology in the execution of their duties, as well as measures they have put in place for seamless interaction with the informal sector. Join us now as we speak to some of the directors of the LIRS and gain clarification on not just their responsibilities, but the journey so far.
This is the big story. Lagos State, Nigeria is known for its vibrant and bustling economy, which attracts businesses from all over the world. With a population of over 20 million people, it is the economic hub of the country, contributing significantly to the national GDP. One of the key players in the success of Lagos State is the Lagos Internal Revenue Service (LIRS), which has been instrumental in the collection and administration of taxes in the state.
LRS is basically the operational arm of Lagos State Board of Internal Revenue. So it is coined Lagos Internal Revenue Service. That's the difference. So it's a part of the board, but burdened with collection, enforcement, assessment, recovery of tax from all individuals that earn a living. Immediately you earn a living and you're resident, because tax is about residency, and you're resident in Lagos, you must pay tax.
Over the years, LIRS has implemented several innovative strategies to improve tax collection and administration in Lagos State. One of its notable achievements is the deployment of technology to simplify the tax collection process. With the introduction of the electronic system e-tax, taxpayers can now make payments online, check their tax status, and obtain their tax clearance certificates within minutes. This has reduced the need for physical visits to tax offices and has increased compliance rates significantly.
There's been a lot of factors that led to us looking at different ways of collecting taxes. Such factors include leveraging on technology, because we thought that technology would ease compliance, would enable transparency, would mitigate on ease of avoidance and tax evasions, and also encourage compliance with our taxpayers. So that's one. Another one was ease of doing business. I think the federal government ran into a partnership with the World Bank, and the index for Nigeria at some point was showing 161. So I think the federal government then took that partnership and was using Lagos State as a test case to ensure that ease of doing business indices in Nigeria can be brought down. And between 2011 to 2019, I think Nigeria was ranked 161 in the world. And by 2019, Nigeria had gone down to 131. So we're still expecting the figures for 2020 to come out. But I'm sure that the indices for that ease of doing business has been reduced drastically, giving cognizance that, most of the operations in our processes has been automated, they've been digitized for in readiness to drive the ease of compliance. Then we also thought that it's also going to be nice to be in alliance with the industry-based standard practices, such that technology is fast moving. We needed to move with technology, otherwise we'll be left behind. You look at the instances of the agency integrating our application with some other agencies at federal government level. You have the Joint Tax Board, you have the National Identity Management Commission, you have the Corporate Affairs Commission, you have the Federal Road Safety Corps, and then you have the customs as well. So if we hadn't leveraged on technology, we would not have been able to integrate our application with all these federal government agencies, and also that of the subnational agencies like us as well.
We've been able to add a whole lot of technology to make life simple for everybody. Right in the convenience of your bedroom, you can pay your tax. We have this enterprise platform we call e-tax, enterprise tax. Everybody should register there. We have about 22 million residents in Lagos, including children though. So those ones don't pay tax. And then statistics has it that at least about 10 million are working. And as of today, on our e-tax platform, we have about 4.6 registered individuals paying tax, with about 113 corporates entities registered. You know why? In as much as we don't collect CIT, which is company income tax, they have an obligation to render returns to us through the Form H1, which will contain the wages, deductions of all their staff that render tax to us under PAYE, payee, that's pay as you earn. So they must give us those returns every month, at least on or before the 10th of the subsequent month. So for the month of January, we expect you to render your returns on payee, that's your Form H1, before 10th.
Another innovative strategy implemented by LIRS is the use of data analytics to identify potential taxpayers and track tax evaders. By analyzing data from various sources, including banks, property registries, and other government agencies, LIRS has been able to identify thousands of potential taxpayers who were not previously registered. This has resulted in increased revenue for the state as more people are brought into the tax net.
Currently, as of today, our budget is 57 billion per month, our run rate, coming from what it was then. So you can imagine. And so, I mean, we're there, and the others are just, they're number two. We always do number one. And I think the very one that is next to us today is a Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Then maybe Rivers State. We are doing almost 600 billion. That's massive. And that's like 50 billion per month. That's just tax. We have other revenues from lands, from FAC, from JAC, from so many other things. If you put that together, Lagos State is like doing almost 753 billion. So when you say our budget's coming up to 1 trillion, we're almost there.
Established to operate under the State Revenue Administration Law of 2006, LIRS is responsible for the assessment, collection, and administration of taxes within the state. Its mandates include the collection of personal income tax (PIT) and other taxes and levies, as well as the enforcement of tax laws and regulations.
They have been empowered to collect various taxes, and why so? Because they have to find a way of generating revenue to support the government. Government is supposed to render certain services. Government is supposed to render certain provisions, that is infrastructures, to the people that have been, that they govern. They need to provide infrastructures, they need to provide social services, they need to put hospitals in places, they need to provide water, they need to provide medical services. All this requires money. And that's why, what taxation is all about, which varies from personal income tax, which can also be broken into two, which is a PSUN, which is deducted at source from every employee of a corporate organization, while the direct assessment is deducted and paid by every individual that is self-employed. We have the likes of withholding taxes, we have the likes of stamp duties, and the rest. We have, the likes of capital gain tax, as well. And in addition to that, we also what is called consumption tax. Consumption tax is paid by various hotels, restaurants. If you've been going out to restaurants, if you are giving your receipts, you also see underneath it as what is being charged. You see what is the consumption tax is all about there. People should not run foul of the law. For any corporate organization that fails to file their own returns, I think the penalty is 500,000. And for small enterprises, individuals, and the rest, I think it's 50,000.
LIRS has also been at the forefront of the fight against corruption in tax administration by implementing several measures to ensure transparency and accountability in its operations. More so, the agency has also been proactive in educating taxpayers on their tax obligations and the benefit of tax compliance. Through these initiatives, LIRS has been able to increase taxpayers' awareness of their obligations, which has resulted in increased compliance rates and revenue for the state.
All this has given the agency a good step in the right direction because we have been able to increase the compliance level of taxpayers. We have increased in our productivity, i.e. in terms of generating revenue has increased. The cost of collection has reduced drastically because we've digitized all our applications from end to end. We've automated them as well. And the chances of us being able to integrate with other agencies also mean that we can share data with all these agencies. So those are the factors that has really driven the agency to ensuring that we can collect our taxes adequately.
The Lagos Internal Revenue Service has been a game changer in tax collection and administration in Lagos State. Through its innovative strategies, it has been able to increase compliance rates, revenue for the state, and build trust and confidence in the tax administration process. Its commitment to transparency, accountability, and the use of technology has made it a model for tax administration in Nigeria and beyond.
Hello, Mom.
Hello, Jenny. Where are you?
I'm on my way home, Mom.
What is it, baby? You're sounding so unhappy.
That's because I'm unhappy. I just got my offer letter. It's a role on a TV series.
Aren't you supposed to be happy about that?
Mom, I was happy until I got my offer letter. I'll be working 3 days a week for a year. The salary is 200,000 a month. But they're going to be deducting tax.
Welcome to the working world.
Yeah, but Mom, why are they deducting anything at all?
Think of it this way. You will be performing your civic duty. Hospitals and healthcare facilities, clean and safe roads, economic development, salaries of government workers. That will be your tax at work.
Sometimes it's better to build something from scratch first than trying to, renovate a very, very difficult building like this. As you can see, it's a very hard concrete building, on almost like 8 or 9 floors. And it was an old elephant house. And so concrete is everywhere. So it's very, very difficult, for you to retrofit and to make it fit for purpose. So that's why, engineering-wise, they've had to explain. They had to do a lot more detail, because it was like taking down the entire electrical, plumbing, all of the infrastructure that were there before. So the importance of this place is, like we call it, a revenue house. So it houses a significant amount of our core revenue agencies. LIRS being the major occupier here. They're occupying about almost 60%, 55 to 60% of the space here. And LRS is big, you know, with thousands of staff. So MVA as well, LASA, you know, and a few other revenue agencies from Ministry of Finance. So the whole idea is that they can share some facilities together, but more importantly, you know, our citizens and our customers can come in as a one-stop, right? And they can do a lot of things in the building, from your tax payments to your license renewal to issues around your vehicle. I mean, and also land administration, tenement rates, you know, and land assessment, everything. They are all in, will be all in this bill. And a few other smaller institutions like Ibile Holding, Ibile Microfinance, you know, and everything that has to do with generation of revenue.
I'm convinced a lot of people have held various opinions on the LIRS, some of which have been formed out of ignorance on the actual functions of the agency. Some people also have not been able to appreciate the growth and innovations that have accompanied the agency over the years within the state. After today's big story, I'm sure the picture has become a lot clearer to you. Right now, the Tax Talk continues with us going outside for voice on the streets.
Hi everyone, my name is Omo Folari and this is Voice on the Street, a segment where we get to sample people's opinion. Stay with us as we hit the streets.
Yeah, I see the impact because I see the road they are doing and the construction. At least they are trying.
Yes, I see. Yes, because they've been using the tax money to do a lot of things in Lagos.
You can see now the streets are clean. So many things are done. You know, it's making the citizens have good amenities and live comfort life.
Yes. I'm seeing it, the roads and all that. Well, then maybe the road and other social amenities, I guess.
I shall try. Yeah, definitely.
It's a wrap on this edition of the Tax Talk, but I can't sign out without reminding you to give our social media handles a follow. Thank you for your time. Next week, we continue this ongoing process of keeping you informed, educated, and up to date on the issue of tax administration. My name is Oyinlola Saleh, and the pleasure has been all mine. Bye for now.